What is up, brothers? I have an extremely important topic today that I think is one of the most important for men in the self-improvement space to understand and to hear. Because I think that we get misled a lot in this way. And I think that the way men's self-improvement, the whole space and the manosphere is presented, and one of the main messages behind it is wrong. And that is the type of masculinity that we should be pursuing as men. There's two different types of masculinity. Obviously, there's other subtypes, but the main two types are going to be material masculinity and spiritual masculinity. Masculinity of the soul, and masculinity of your mind and body in this material world. And there's a little bit that we want to borrow from each. But when we take the soul out of it and we focus solely on material masculinity, that's where we get led astray. That's where us men get led astray. That's where our society gets led astray. That's where our goals and our purpose and the things that we should be chasing gets led astray. And unfortunately, that is the main message that is preached nowadays in the manosphere. What is material masculinity? Material masculinity is basically being as quote-unquote alpha in a primal sense as you can be. All right, and what is alpha? Being alpha is dominating others, dominating the competition, conquering everyone else, doing everything that you can to get to your individual goals and where you want to be in a material sense. And typically, what does this entail? Where do we want to be as a materially masculine men? It's going to come down to money, power, women. All right, money, power, status, and women. Those are the things that we are pursuing as men who are aiming to be materialistically masculine. Serve the ego, our ego while we're here. What does the ego want? What boosts the ego? Being able to attract and sleep with many attractive, beautiful women. Getting a lot of money, making a lot of money, having a lot of status and respect from others, having power over others as well. These are things that boost our ego, make us feel good, make us feel manly in a primal sense. These things feel good. They do feel good. They do feel good in that sense. However, they are not fulfilling. They're not fulfilling. You could take a man, say Dan Bilzerian. He has, supermodels on his yachts with hundreds of millions of dollars. He has all the women in the world that he could ask for. He has all of the money that a man could dream of. All the status and respect, millions of followers. Being asked to interview on all the highest top-end podcasts. Respected by other men in the manosphere. Other materialistically masculine men in the manosphere. And yet, there was an interview he did where he eventually, at the end of the treadmill of chasing these pursuits, becoming the most alpha, materially masculine man that he could be. At the end of that pursuit, he was empty. He said he was laying in his bed after sleeping with a bunch of supermodels on his mega yacht, and he realized that he wasn't happy. He wasn't fulfilled. And the reason that is because there's a soul in there. There's a soul in there. And the materialistically masculine pursuits, they give us dopamine. They make us feel good. But it's our physical minds and bodies that feel good. And the reason that we're programmed to feel good as men when we get these things is because these things, having status, having money, having power, and having women, increases our material purpose in life, which is to survive and reproduce. That's it. That's our material purpose. And the body and brain are going to give you feel-good chemicals and emotions when you do things that move you in the direction of accomplishing those pursuits. So when you make more money, it increases your chance of survival. All right, I got better shelter. I got all my food. I don't got to worry about where I'm getting my next meal. I can attract more women into my life. I can provide for offspring. I have more status amongst the group. This is going to bring me more women. I'm having a lot of women. Obviously, we get dopamine from that. That's the act of reproduction. But these things don't feed the soul. They don't feed the soul, and the soul's there. You can't escape that. You can feed the material. You can feed it the material desires, the material pursuit, material masculinity, and dominate and conquer and sleep with them all. It's a treadmill. It just keeps going. That's it. There's no end. You think, oh, the next, when I hit the next milestone. All right, if you have the love for money, it's the next. Oh, once I make $5K a month, you hit that. Oh, I'm not happy. I need to make $10K a month. Then I'll be happy. I need to make $20K a month. Then I'll be happy. Oh, I need to make $1 million a year. And then I'll be happy. I need to have 10 million. Then I'll be happy. It never comes. It never comes. All right. Money makes you happier to the point where your baseline needs are met. All right. The base of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You don't have to worry about your shelter, worry about your food, worrying about paying your bills. You don't have to stress about it. But beyond that point, it's not going to make you happier. It's not going to fulfill you more. What is going to fulfill you as a man with a masculine core is spiritual masculinity. Spiritual masculinity. It's different than the material masculinity. It's not about conquering. It's not about dominating others. It's not about winning in a material sense of life. What is spiritual masculinity? It's rejecting the material. It's discipline. Right? It's provisioning. It's protecting. It's defending the innocent, those around you. Being a spiritual leader, leading others towards happiness, showing others the way, being a mentor, a spiritual guide, being respected not for your women or your status, but for your spiritual wisdom. Approaching women not from a sense of what can I get out of this woman, in terms of what can I get out of her with giving the least that I can, not taking from her, defiling her, and then leaving her. It's only indulging in a woman who you have a commitment to provide and protect for. All right. And money's involved there, right? Financial provision, but it's not just that. It's not just that, right? I think that it's wrong to, if you know you want nothing to do with a woman long term, I think that it's selfish and undisciplined to sleep with her. What are you getting out of it? An ego boost, so material. Some pleasure, material. Is it going to make you feel, give you a little bit of an ego boost, but after that, it's going to be nothing. So you get nothing, really, as a man. You get nothing for that. You don't get a woman who's going to have your children, take care of your home, help you on your purpose, and you're taking from her. You're imprinting yourself on her and then leaving. Now her future man's got to deal with that imprint. Especially if you are masculine, and you're a man who is selected by women. Not all women are going to be able to get a commitment from a guy like that. So, a woman that you sleep with, then later, she'll suffer from comparing her man to you. And some of you guys, maybe you're like, yeah, I want that. you're not where you need to be. You're still in your ego. You're still in the material. And really, guys, the way that you get out of that material masculinity and into the spiritual masculinity is you need a higher spiritual calling. You need to have a purpose, a higher purpose, higher than the material world. What I mean by higher than the material world, it's higher than just getting money and getting women and enjoying life and pleasure. You have to have a higher calling than that. And there's some things that can define your purpose. I'll make a separate video on that in the future. But really, there's three main things that I believe need to be met for something to be your purpose. It has to be one. It has to be something that you're gifted at, something that you're good at, something that other people can't do as well as you. And the reason that this needs to be is because it makes you feel as though you're meant to do it, that you were put here to do it. Right? Joe and I, we're great coaches, right? And we have the situations that I went through with my brain tumor that led me down the road of tens of thousands of hours of research that led me to gain the gnosis, gain the knowledge to give me the transformation that I've had. It's also a gift. It's also a unique circumstance. So I feel like I was put here to spread this knowledge, right? Because I have a special amount of it that the average person doesn't have. I'm gifted in that way because of what I went through and what I did. My ability to own myself as a coach and a spiritual guide and a mentor towards a wide variety of types of men. And Joe's the same way. The other aspect of a purpose is that it needs to be something that you enjoy. Okay. I'm really good at math. I was really good at math growing up through school. Really good at it. I fucking hate math. It's so, to me, it's just so, I think it's because it's so material. It's so material, right? Although I think numbers can be spiritual in some ways. I think there's some spiritual aspects, but I haven't really got delved into that rabbit hole yet. Just kind of looked into it a little bit. And therefore, anything regarding math could not be my purpose. It has to be something you enjoy. It has to be something you enjoy because you need to get up every day and love pursuing it. So we got two things. We got something that you enjoy and something that you are gifted at. And the last thing is it has to be something to help other people. Something that helps people. It doesn't have to be crazy, guys. You know? I'll take a crazy example, right? Say you're like a UFC fighter, right? You're good at, say you're gifted at fighting. You're good at it. Say you actually enjoy it. And you can use it to help other people, right? In the sense that you give these people a sense, give them something to look forward to in life. Give them some enjoyment. Give them an event to sit around with their loved ones and enjoy relaxing and watching you perform after a long week of work. Give people that satisfaction and enjoyment. That could be purposeful, all right? I'm an MMA fighter. I've had a few MMA fights, but I realized that it wasn't my purpose because I didn't really enjoy it. I enjoy sparring, I enjoy training, I enjoy the art of it, but I didn't enjoy fighting because I don't really enjoy dominating people or hurting somebody like that. I didn't get much satisfaction from it. In my last fight, I didn't even get a dopamine hit from winning. You guys think, oh, you win a fight in front of a huge crowd, like you get a huge dopamine hit. My first fight I did. Second fight kind of did, and the third fight I was glad it was over. I don't have to train, 6 days a week, 3 hours a day anymore. And stressed about this. My mind's free to now pursue other things, which was do what I do now, which is make content and be a coach. So that's why fighting was my purpose. But this is, right? Because I'm gifted at it. I love doing it, and it helps people directly. It doesn't have to be that deep, It doesn't have to be that huge. It could be a smaller purpose. Everyone's individual, and it's not even smaller because it's just if it's big for you, if it's your purpose, that's your purpose. If you feel that, then go into it. I have many clients who, if you guys watched my previous raw talk from a couple of days ago, was talking about how a lot of times my clients, when they're on the method, when they're on the self-improvement journey, and they happen to just discover their purpose. Right? Because on the road to the best version of yourself, on that road, eventually you find what you're meant for. because you're the best version of yourself. You stripped away all the distractions. Everything holding you back from self-actualization. All right, you get the self-respect. You get the confidence. You get rid of the addictions. Now you're free. Maslow's hierarchy of needs, guys. You're free to reach self-actualization. What's waiting for you there is your purpose. So one of my clients, he realized he wanted to be a chef. He realized he wanted to be a chef. And he's vegan, so he wanted to be a vegan chef. So, you know, he is good at it. He's been taking cooking classes. He's good at it. He's making different recipes and cooking it. He loves it. He loves the movement. He loves being a chef. And he can open his own restaurant and give people, you know, a break from their day, nourishment, spread positivity for his movement. And that is his purpose. He discovered it. All right? It's being a chef. So to find your purpose, and the reason it's important to find your purpose is because finding your higher calling, your purpose, is the only way that the soul can take the driver's seat and you can pursue that spiritual masculinity over the material masculinity, which is our baseline. If your soul does not have a higher purpose and calling that is pushing you forward, what's going to take the place of it, you're going to revert to what this material mind and body want, which is material gain, material masculinity. Get as much money as I can, as many women as I can, because those things satisfy me most in the moment. That's what my body tells me to get. But when you get there, you're not fulfilled. I'm one of the most fulfilled that I've been now that I'm just so locked in my purpose, and Joe too. We're so locked in right now, and I'm completely fulfilled. When I'm off my purpose, I get frustrated that I'm married, because my body wants more. Right now, that's the last thing I want. Would it be fun? I have to allow myself to get off my purpose and kind of delve back in. And it would take a conscious choice to allow myself to fall in that sense. I have a woman who I love, who wants to be the mother of my children, which is one of my purposes, who I have a spiritual connection with. It brings me moments of peace and enjoyment when I'm not actively doing things for my purpose. That's all I need. That's all I need, because it fulfills me the most. And I'm her. I provide for her, protect her, spiritual sense and material sense, and that's what I want in my relationship with her. All right. If I was just solely materialistically doing it, I'd be resentful. I'd be like, oh, this marriage is holding me back from accomplishing what my body and brain want. Whenever I get off my purpose, I feel that. So, the red pill, the manosphere, preaches the material purpose. It preaches this is what you need. This is what will make you happy. Sure, that'll make you happier than living in, if you're in the material sense, yeah, you're going to be happier having status, power, money, a bunch of women, than you would be being, a loser in the material world. Not having any woman attracted to you, not being broke, right? But a man could be broke, a man could have no woman and be 100% totally fulfilled if he has, I don't mean distracted, I don't mean content. I mean fulfilled if he has that higher spiritual purpose. And this part of this purpose has to be helping others. It has to be that. That's an aspect of it. You can't just do something that you're good at and that you like doing that doesn't help anybody. If you are really good at sales and you like sales, you like the prospect of sales, but you're selling pest control, like a scam that puts chemicals in people's houses, you're not going to be fulfilled. You're not going to be fulfilled. Maybe you'll be happy in the moment when you're getting your sales, but at the end of the day, as time goes on, you're going to realize, dang, you're going to be laying in that. If you go down the line all that way towards material success, you're going to be laying on your yacht with the supermodels, realizing you're not happy. King Solomon said in the Bible, he said he had hundreds of wives and concubines, all the wealth, all the power in the world. And in Ecclesiastes, he's dictating he's writing out if all these pursuits, if they lead to fulfillment. What he realizes was that none of them did. So the only thing in the end is just to fear God and keep his commandments. All right. And now I know I interpret that a little bit differently. I don't know, it's literally fear God and like fear his wrath. You know, Joe and I we're not like mainstream Christian. We believe in a form of Christianity that's been censored and persecuted for centuries, as almost no one even knows about. So if you guys have any ideas, guesses what I'm talking about, put it in the comments below. But really, what he's saying here, in my interpretation, is your higher spiritual purpose, the God that's inside you, your soul, that is outside the material. All right. Follow your God-given purpose. That's what he's saying. All right. Follow the reason that God put you here. And when you get rid of the distractions, when you get rid of the dopamine, when you get rid of the material things, when you become the best version of yourself, you get on the method, that purpose will be revealed to you. I promise. And once it's revealed to you, brother, fear not accomplishing it. Fear not accomplishing it, because that purpose is from God. It's from God, and the God is inside you. You are a drip of God, all from the ocean of God dripped into this ego. So what Solomon's saying is you should fear not accomplishing your purpose, and follow the path towards it is what you should do. That will fulfill you, my brothers. Spiritual masculinity, not material masculinity. It will not fulfill you. I know when you guys don't have women, you think that will fulfill you. You need to get to the point where you can get women. You need abundance. You can't just be totally unattractive. But you don't need to actually be having sex with all these women. You just need to know that you could if you wanted to. All right. So that insecurity goes away. And then you need to eliminate insecurities. Once your insecurities are eliminated, you'll be good to go. That's really what you need. Eliminate material insecurities. Do what you got to do. If you're skinny, get jacked. If you're fat, get lean. Do the other aspects of the method for our masterclass in the description below. That'll overcome as many of the main insecurities that you can have as a guy that are possible to overcome. A lot of which you don't even think are possible, but are. And on the path there, you'll discover your purpose. You'll discover your spiritual calling, accomplish it, help other souls along the way, help reduce suffering to others along the way. If you want, along the way, you can pick up a wife, have a family. You don't have to get legally married, but in the spiritual sense, you're married to that woman. Spread your knowledge to your children. That's the way to fulfillment, boys. Okay? Hope you guys resonated with this raw talk. This is the message that I felt called to give you today from God. And when I say God, it's inside me. I'm listening to what's inside me. Listen to what's inside me, because God is inside of you. As Jesus said, I say to you, ye are gods. Jesus says, you are gods. You are God. God is inside you. God is not external from you. He is inside you. You just need to strip away the ego, strip away the insecurities, so God can come out and be revealed inside you. And then you can go into the world with that purpose, with that God inside you, that purpose that you have. And help others and have fulfillment for yourself. All right, boys. Good talk. You made it to the end. You have my respect. As always, subscribe for truth. Peace.